right, everyone. Hey, thanks for joining us here on a special session of the High Council. If you've been listening along with us, you know that anytime we have a High Council meeting, it means something good or bad maybe has happened in Star Wars, and we are here to discuss that, which happened on, I think, Monday. Yeah, so Monday. It's been a long week, and it's only Tuesday, so bear with me here. Joining us again for, I think, the second or third time, we've got Eric.
Hey, Jimmy, thanks for having me back.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming back. And our first timer, we've got Jake.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Jake. Thanks for joining us, you guys. Let's just give the listeners and the viewers, Jake, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love of Star Wars.
Yeah, I got into Star Wars before I even watched the movies. My older brother, he had some toys, and I had Micro Machines or some other things, but I had a Sandcrawler and some AT-ATs and some other little things. And then when I was a kid, the special editions got released in theaters, and so kind of took off from there for sure. Seeing all those in theaters, and then as I got a little bit older, Legos started dropping. As you can see behind me, my Lego Star Wars love never ended. And then we had, of course, the prequels, and then my adult life has been full with a lot of new content, which is awesome, and it's transferred down to my kids. My son's a Star Wars fanatic, so
excellent. That's just good parenting
awesome.
right there.
Yeah.
Eric, you want to remind everybody what you're all about?
Yeah, sure. So I started in the prequel era. So I was born in '96, and then my mom kind of got me into it, and I had a really influential kind of an uncle to me. He was my best friend's dad, who was always into Star Wars, and so I've been watching ever since I was a kid. And same thing as Jake, I started collecting Legos whenever I was a kid and just kind of kept up with it. So
awesome. And again, you two, I want to thank you guys again for joining us. And we are here to discuss the trailer for Bad Batch Season 3. Bad Batch, created by Jennifer Corbett and Dave Filoni, of course. And if you've been listening along over the last couple of weeks, Jack and Taylor and I have been complaining that we didn't know what was next in Star Wars. And lo and behold, Lucasfilm wanted me to stop complaining and finally told us what's next.
Yeah.
So February 21st, we're going to get 3 episodes of the Bad Batch Season 3, One Last Fight, the final season. And I'm pretty excited. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch the trailer real quick as a group, and then we're going to dive into it.
Awesome.
Hold on! We've got troopers up top. We're running out of road!
Not exactly a stealth exit,
Mando
boys.
2 vibe here with the gauntlet. Is it called a gauntlet?
Fast and the Furious vibes.
Juggernaut. It's a juggernaut, right?
I thought that the end of the war would mean an end to losing more of our brothers. But I was wrong.
We're going to talk about that
You
for
can't
sure.
just walk away. Not with the Empire imprisoning the kid. Secure her in a cell. Omega's been waiting for us a long time. Our mission is not over yet.
There is nothing of greater importance to secure the future of this empire. Whatever is needed to accomplish this goal, you will have it.
They are coming. For all of you. Give us a real challenge. Everyone, down! We're not big on following orders.
I wasn't planning on killing you, but you're making it very tempting.
So right.
So
So
cool.
good.
So I don't know about you guys, but that's probably the 50th time I've watched that since they released it yesterday afternoon.
Yep.
What, Eric? Just I think I texted you yesterday. I was like, "Have you seen it?" What is your
Yeah.
immediate reaction, feelings after seeing that for the first time?
Oh man, yeah, I'm just pumped. I've loved Bad Batch ever since it came out. Coming from the Clone Wars animation and the same Clone Wars vibes. I grew up with that show and really got into it. Right around college, I really dove into it. So it's one of my favorite things that Lucasfilm is currently putting out. So I'm just super pumped.
Awesome. Yeah. How about you, Jake? First time you watched it?
Oh man, I can't wait. After the ending of season 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing for me. Bad Batch just kind of starting out, seeing the beginning of Kanan Jarrus' life,
Oh
or
yeah.
not his life, but his Order 66 survival and all that stuff. So it's kind of hit a certain nerve with me with that for sure. Getting to see
Yeah.
that. So that just led me into Bad Batch. Super excited about it. I think I've heard you talk about season 1 wasn't as good as season 2 for sure. Season 2 went full throttle, and from this preview, it looks like season 3 is going to take it up another notch. So, yeah, lots of cool little things to break down on that trailer for sure.
Yeah, we've got a ton to talk about. I do want to give a full spoiler warning. Right now, because everything's fair game from season 1, season 2, season 7 of Clone Wars, whatever we want to talk about,
Yeah.
it all needs to be. And the book Dark Disciple will probably be fair game today too, because it's kind of important. But yeah, I kind of echo what you guys are saying. I watched that and I got goosebumps like 14 times. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, someone would show up and like the Emperor shows up. And then, of course, Asajj, which, it was awesome seeing Fennec and all those guys too. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, goosebumps. I can't wait. Like you said, like I've talked about this a couple times when we were ranking shows and things like that. For me personally, I looked forward more to season 2 of the Bad Batch than I did Mando season 3. Like I felt like it had more emotion, more drive. I was more invested in the characters. But yeah, I am stoked. I'm bummed we're getting one last episode than we've gotten the first 2 seasons. But that's good though. I mean, they got a story they want to tell, and they didn't need 16 episodes. They only needed 15. What would you say, Eric, was the most exciting thing that you saw, or if anything disappointed you in this? The first time you watched it, second time you watched it, whatever. What would you say, like, what got you the most hyped?
The most hyped. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Knowing it, I mean, this was kind of a surprise, right? Like it's coming out in a couple weeks. I think that was one of the big things. But yeah, within the trailer, the kind of the big thing, seeing Asajj there at the end, seeing Cad Bane's Shadow, seeing all the big hitters that they're going to be bringing back, which I know some people can get tired of, but I love that kind of stuff. Whenever they can bring multiple storylines from different shows and kind of weave them in, I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then being able to see what I'm really excited that we got to see Crosshair a little bit in there. It's like he was kind of like imprisoned or captured or something. I've been really interested to see where his arc is going. So
yeah, he doesn't look too hot in that.
No.
I think he made a bad choice in following orders. But Jake, what about you? What was like you watched that video, you see that trailer. What was the one thing you just couldn't stop thinking about?
Oh man, definitely Asajj. That was spoilers are even out there. I thought she was dead, apparently not. So seeing her and then all the other bounty hunter big hitters, whose side are they on?
Yes.
Are they on the Emperor's side or are they on our side? I say ours, because I'm part of the Bad Batch,
Right.
But,
yeah.
That's right.
But or is it mix and match? It's so it's so bringing all the different storylines together. It's just and pack this one big punch into this rescue mission for Omega. Like it's that seeing the Emperor saying,
oh yeah,
whatever the goal is, I want to know what the goal is too. Like what's the most important thing? It's like, is it destroying, this group of Clone Force 99, or is it, whatever it is? So
bigger
I'm sure we'll
picture
find out.
something.
But it's such a good dark, gritty lead into it. It's not like, our typical, just stop the rebels and we'll be okay. This is like,
yeah, this had some emotion to it, I felt like. So yeah, I'd have to say, I mean, like I told you, like it just kept like, whoever made this trailer needs a bonus, because
absolutely,
I was pumped, got a little bit more pumped, a little bit more pumped, a little bit more pumped. Then I'm freaking out at the end of it. Like I said,
I got my
watched
gear
it
on.
20 times.
I got my gear on and was ready to go. I got the end of it. I'm like, okay, it's time.
Going to
know
get
the
Omega.
plan.
Let's go.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was they did an awesome job in that. I for me, the whole trailer. I mean, just to start out with some vibes from like seeing the I think it's called a Juggernaut. We saw those in was it kind of like in Mando and some other things. I think similar vehicles, stuff like that. But that was pretty cool. We've seen them in was it Attack of the Clones and everything. So it's kind of fun callback. But for me, I guess the next question we're going to kind of talk about, what was the character gave you the biggest goosebumps, and man, like I said, they just kept ramping up. But I'd have to say we've just talked about Asajj on Sunday, and it came out today. But seeing her back, I love her character. We've talked about her a couple times on this show. We discussed Gray Jedi. Do they, don't they exist, that kind of thing. But Asajj is one of the ones we brought up because she kind of flirts in that line. But for me, like I think Cad Bane was cool to see. Fennec looks so much like Ming-Na Wen. It's crazy, like animated version of Ming-Na Wen. But I'd have to say, for me personally, I think seeing Asajj was probably the biggest surprise, and like just gave me goosebumps. So was there a specific character that you guys saw that like just
I think I think they were really building up to Asajj, because that was like the last thing that they kind of put in there for sure, and I think it's going to catch a lot of people for a surprise. But I was really looking forward to seeing, like I said, Crosshair was one of the big ones because I'm just so interested in what they're going to do with him. But Cad Bane is one of like my favorite bounty hunters. So whenever I saw him, anytime I see him, I'm always pumped. I love seeing Cad Bane. So,
what about you, Jake?
Yeah, Asajj was definitely the biggest surprise for sure, and it gave me goosebumps thinking about because I've been on this since Kenobi came out. But they have to have dropped Quinlan Voss's name for a reason, and we've been like 2 or 3 shows since then that he hasn't shown up, and so I'm thinking maybe this is the time when he's showing up to tag team up with the Bad Batch. I don't know where he fits in the timeline exactly at this point, but if she's back and alive, so I don't know. He's one of my favorite characters just because he's kind of out there and like a little bit rogue.
That'll be cool. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Crosshair. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have watched any breakdowns. I always hop on, and I'm a big fan of like New Rock Stars and Screen Rant and just different people. But they've kind of pointed out that there's a scene where Crosshair is, at least his armor is standing behind Hunter. Are we getting him back in the Bad Batch? Do you think?
I think so.
I would love nothing more.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think for one last fight, you get them all back together.
Yeah. I think that. Go ahead, Eric.
I was gonna say, I think it'd be really cool just to kind of see that, them reuniting. But it'd be hard for all the guys to bring him back in. I feel like, especially all the things they've been through. So we're interested to see how they play that out. Maybe it's like a they kind of like have to team up kind of thing. They're kind of like, we don't really want to, but we kind of have to kind of thing. So
for sure. I think that character, the way they worked him over towards the end of season 2, just all the stuff he went through, especially they had that whole episode where it was him and that other clone. I think if he does get redeemed, I won't be mad about it, because usually they redeem everybody and it gets kind of old. Like, let people stay bad or let people believe what they believe. But I kind of feel like if he's redeemed, he's earned it. Like he's been through enough to have
Yeah.
kind of learned his lesson and realized what the Empire is about.
Right, and it would take something big, like I said, I think, for the group to bring him back in. So he'd have to do something even more heroic, I think, to be accepted back by the guys, if they survive or whatever.
He'll probably die. That's how he'll get redeemed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Right.
it at the end with some predictions.
Mhm.
Who is and
Yeah.
who isn't going to be standing there.
100%.
But yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'm excited to see how that unfolds. We'll see.
Mhm.
We're getting 3 episodes right off the bats. I mean, how much is
Oh,
going to get set up in those first 3 episodes?
yeah.
But how is Asajj Ventress back? So, and again, spoilers for Dark Disciple book. If you haven't read it, you should. It's great. Jake's, character Quinlan Voss is in there, and he's a primary part of it. And I don't want to give too much details away, but there is a love affair between Quinlan and Asajj, and she ends up trying to save Quinlan. And at the end of that book, she's dead, right? I mean, she's put in the healing waters in Dathomir or something like that.
And that's what I was assuming. Yeah, is those healing waters? Does she?
If I'm not mistaken, that book was actually an arc in Clone Wars written by George Lucas's daughter, I think, and then they turned it into a book because, of course, Clone Wars got canceled. So it would have happened towards, I think, the end of season 6, which we all know got canceled, with a lot of good things in there. Bad Batch showed up in that. That fight between Boba and Cad Bane showed up in that. But so I think time-wise, according to that book, she should be dead. And I'll show you guys this real quick. I'll hit share. And if you can see here, it says we don't want to spoil anything, but want fans to know that any new storytelling with Ventress will align with the events of Star Wars Dark Disciple.
Cool.
Season 3, the final season. Check everything out. So they are not retconning anything.
And that would let me believe about the Dathomir healing waters. Does she get revived somehow, or
Yeah, because we've seen the witches do some crazy things. So
we've
beyond them.
Yeah, we've had a lot of that, especially with the Ahsoka recently. We got to see them do a lot of powerful things, and with Marok.
Maybe she was
Thrawn's
Marok.
entire army.
That was Asajj.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! And then I do gotta shout this out because we were talking about Grey Jedi on Sunday, and again that came out today on Tuesday. But we talked about Asajj, and I forgot that she had gotten a new lightsaber in that book. Right, she gets that yellow saber. It kind of looks like her old saber, so people were kind of talking about, did she find Barriss Offee, and there's what happened to Barriss Offee? You know what I mean? Because everything about Barriss has been, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Where is she?
Yeah.
How would you feel if Ventress was what happened to Barriss Offee?
Oh man, yeah. That's another deep cut.
Yeah, there's some good stuff here. And I guess she has the yellow lightsaber because she doesn't align with the Jedi. She doesn't align with the Sith. So I don't know what that makes her. Does it make her the non-traditional Jedi that Jack talks about, or is it, the Grey Jedi, or is it something else? Is she a Bendu? What's going on, right?
Because yellow lightsaber they use that, I feel like, more in the High Republic era kind of thing. So I wonder if there'll be any tying in, or might be a long shot, but
what's her name?
Rey has one.
In Rise of the Red Blade, doesn't her second blade that she finds from her mother or whatever was yellow, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, and then usually the yellow is like the temple guards, like stuff that we've seen up until Rey and everything like that. I mean, Rebels, it showed it as temple guards. And I think maybe in Clone Wars we saw it a couple times, kind of like a neutral, not super powerful Jedi, kind of gave them like a guardian type presence to them, I believe. So who knows what'll happen? That'll be interesting. I hope that we get some of this stuff fleshed out, because I mean, who knows what's going to happen? So it's pretty exciting stuff in itself. And that's a crazy thing too, is we're sitting here and we're talking mostly about Asajj Ventress. Like, we're not even gotten, you know what I mean? So like,
I haven't got the Bad Batch stuff.
Filoni's no joke, man. He knows what's up. He knows what the people want. I think Jennifer Corbett obviously she knows what she's doing as well, and I can imagine she's probably running point on this one since he's involved in so many other things. But let's go ahead and we'll take a look at these episode titles and see what we think is going to happen with that. Yeah, so talking about the schedule, I'm going to throw it up here on the screen, but they are planning to, what it looks like, as you can see here, I've got some highlighted. February 21st, so the very first day, we're going to be getting 3 episodes: Confined, Paths Unknown, Shadows of Tantus. And then we have, February 28th, we have an episode. March 6th, we'll get a single one. Then on March 13th, we're getting a double header: Infiltration and Extraction, which I think we'll need to talk about those 2 titles.
Oh, yeah.
March 20th and 27th, we each get one. Then on April 3rd, we're getting 2 more: Identity Crisis and Point of No Return. And then the next, what looks like 4 weeks, all the way up to May 1st, we're going to be getting individual episodes. And I'm kind of curious because the last couple times, I think the last 2 seasons, we got a double feature at the end, like a beginning and the end. So looking at the list, is there any of the titles or how they're dropping them that really kind of stick to you guys? The first one I see is episodes 6 and 7, Infiltration and Extraction. I feel like maybe that's when they're going to go for it.
Yeah, it seems to me definitely. Yeah, it seems to me like they're breaking up the way that, just going off the names alone, like they're kind of breaking it up. We're going to have a few different arcs here, like you mentioned, Jimmy, like 6 and 7. Like those first few episodes might then building up to getting Omega out, and then from 7 on, there's some different points, like maybe what do we do with Omega, like how do we get away from the Empire, kind of thing after that. So I mean, it looks to me like they kind of have different arcs that are going to be kind of building throughout the season. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Any that point stick out to you, Jake?
Yeah, episode 5, The Return.
Yes. Who?
Is that the return of Crosshair or Tech?
Oh. I guess we can talk about that again. Spoilers. And we'll get to that.
That's just wishful thinking on my part, I don't know.
Yeah. A quick yes or no. Is he alive? Eric?
I have to say no.
Jake?
I don't know. I'm a hopeful dreamer that I waited years and years to make sure that Ezra was alive. I knew he was alive, but
yeah.
So
does it take away from the ending of season 2 if he is alive though?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard because, I guess Star Wars fans are always big on that trope, bringing dead people back alive all the time. So I think they've got to be aware of that.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can come back to this towards the end. I'm going to ask you guys a question, and this will kind of tie into it. But I had to think like episode 12, the Juggernaut. Is that the opening scene that we just saw?
Oh yeah.
That them and the Juggernaut racing up that mountainside or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the last one, the Cavalry has arrived. I don't know why. I don't know about you guys. And it kind of leads me into, unless you guys have something else you want to say about the titles. You have anything else?
About I was going to say 11 kind of, or 10 and 11, I think, together. Yeah. Both of those are really interesting to me, like who those are going to be about. Could be Crosshair, like we talked about before, maybe even Asajj.
That's what, when you pointed those out, that popped into me. So their Identity Crisis and Point of No Return, and I see that as falling under Crosshair, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah. I think so. Or maybe even the whole group. Yeah. Who knows?
I mean, maybe she's like, well, I am just a clone, or maybe she's going to be going through some real teenage stuff.
Right. After all the trauma she's been through,
Yeah, she hasn't been through enough.
Right.
I was curious about the episode 3 too, the Shadows of Tantus. Is that a planet, or I don't remember that from the story.
Planet I believe that that facility is on Tantus, I believe.
Yeah, I literally Googled it. Yeah, I Googled it whenever I saw it because I was like, Tantus, what is that? And it's the big tower that like Hemlock and all them were in, where they're holding Omega and all that.
Okay.
Is that a foreboding last name, Dr. Hemlock?
I love that name. Yeah,
right. I mean,
super
basically,
cool. And even the voice actor is awesome.
He's
character, he's
so
super
good.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got Thrawn vibes like no
Yeah,
other.
exactly.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good call on
100%.
that one. He does have a weird delivery, real
Mhm.
smooth and sinister. Like he will rip your heart out and not even think twice about it.
Yeah,
If he
one of those
wants
cold,
to.
calculating scientist guy. Like
Yeah.
he cares more about the results than he does
Oh, kind of
the people
like
he impacts.
Guardians 3 character. I can't think of his name. The bad guy in Guardians 3,
Mm-mm.
the doctor, the
No, no.
scientist that was doing all the experiments and stuff, kind of has that vibe to it where he's just kind of sick and twisted. But
Yeah.
yeah. So you saw all those. We've got 15 episodes. It's going to be over about 12 weeks. It's all going to come out. You see that, of course, we all have our fan theories and things like that. What do you guys think happens? Just quick synopsis. Where are we? What happens in the final season of the Bad Batch?
Yeah, so just quickly, like, of my reactions about those different arcs, I think very beginning, I think we're getting Omega out of Tantus, and we're dealing with the fallout from that, and then our second kind of phase here, going up to episode 10 and 11, maybe like we talked about, maybe Crosshair gets involved in some way, or maybe like Point of No Return. It's an option of like either the Bad Batch guys have to sacrifice themselves so Omega can go on, kind of thing. I don't know. For that. But yeah, and then maybe I don't know, with the cavalry has arrived, it makes it seem kind of hopeful, because usually whenever you hear the term the cavalry's arriving, it means like backups getting here.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I've been led to believe that none of these guys survive. Like all of my friends, when we talk about it, it's like I don't think any of them are going to survive. So is that like Empire cavalry or what? So
Oh yeah, that's true.
but yeah.
What about you, Jake? What do you got?
So I've been known to have some crazy theories especially leading up to Ahsoka series, and all that. But I think going down the list of the name of episodes, I mean, I think in that, you know, up until episode 5, the guys are gonna be figuring out what to do, where she's at, getting more help that they need, supplies and people. Maybe that's them getting bounty hunters, running into people that come along with Asajj,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully Quinlan boss,
Oh yeah, that'd be
Right.
sweet. People freak out, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
If
then
they showed Asajj, something bigger's coming. You know that.
exactly, that's
Yeah,
why
they got to keep something. Yeah.
something's going, and then and she's not going to be helping the Empire by any means. So
Mm-mm.
then episode 6 and 7, going in, getting her out, and then after that, going through how do we keep her safe, what's going on, and for the future of the galaxy. And then I think for me the cavalry has arrived. I think that's the rebellion maybe is they
Ooh,
find them
yeah.
and they are able to take Omega for her or for them, and they
Yeah.
they ultimately don't survive, but they get her there or something like that.
all
So
right.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I guess that kind of leads into like what does the Empire want with Omega, kind of thing. That's always like obviously something I've always been thinking about, and I think maybe they might be trying to figure out like maybe she's some kind of secret for the way that the Emperor ends up cloning himself for the sequel trilogy, kind of thing.
That's
like
what
so.
that scene where he says it's the most important thing.
Mhm.
That was my thought too. Yeah.
That it's all about that, and they're trying to kind of fix the holes of the sequel trilogy, and they're doing it through this, and they'll probably do it through the Filoni verse, the Mando verse. But I have to agree with you guys on that. I think so too. I think some things are going to happen. They're going to build up, and then 6 and 7, I think, is going to be the big. They go get her, and they break out. I think something's going to happen with Omega and Crosshair at the beginning, possibly, and then the Harbinger. That's usually the Harbinger of death, right? I mean, so do we lose a character there? I'm not sure about the Juggernaut, but the Cavalry has arrived. It makes me think that if they wanted to, you could have the remaining Bad Batch. You could have Omega, because there is a scene where you can see her shooting her bow. Or you just see the bow, really, but I mean, I'm assuming it's Omega. But you've got Fennec Shan, you've got Cad Bane, you've got, if we get, Asajj and Quinlan, like if they're coming to rescue you or something like that, who knows?
Right.
That'd be, you can imagine that crew coming up, rolling up on you, a couple Jedi.
Right.
And I've seen some fan theories too with the Gunji. is still out there, right? They
Oh,
help
yeah, that's
Gunji. They
right.
rescue Gunji in season 2. That Wookiee
Mhm.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Did they go get his help? Or
Yeah.
is he? Who knows? Like, there's a lot that could happen. But yeah, and I guess that we sit there and we talk about like fan theories, and I like to see what happens. But who is still standing at the end of episode 15? Like, so as episode 15 rolls, credits go. See, created by Jennifer Corbett and Dave Filoni. Who is left of the Bad Batch? Our main characters, the Bad Batch, Omega. You kind of know that Fennec and Cad Bane can't really be touched, but you're also going to look at Asajj. You could look at Quinlan possibly. But I think Quinlan's name showing up in the path kind of saves him.
Mhm.
But who do you think from that
Yeah.
crew is still standing? And does that mean like is Tech back? Right. And Jake's
Right.
like crying, just screaming, Kleenex
Yeah.
snot coming out of his nose. He's so
Come
happy.
on.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what do you guys think? Who's standing? Who's still standing?
I don't know. I think I going into the whole Bad Batch thing. Like I said, I think all of the guys from Troop 99 don't end up making it. I think they all like make big sacrifices, to help the rebellion or to keep the Empire from gaining some kind of goal, or the Emperor getting his biggest goal or whatever. I don't know what they would like exactly be sacrificing themselves for, but I think they're gonna have like a heroic death kind of thing. I think that's what it'll be. And then of course, like you mentioned, we'll have Quinlan Voss and Asajj still around because and like Fennec and all of them, because they kind of have to be around because they've been in later stuff. But
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
Jake, what about you?
So yeah, I think most of them are going to be gone. I could see it panning out, fading out from Omega and Rexher, like playing some little game of theirs that they're playing together, their little chess game at the end, but they're the last two alive, something
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But I think most of them, yeah, like Eric said, they're gonna all have to sacrifice something major to keep Omega alive,
For
and
safe.
yeah, and or on the opposite side, they find out that they're all too dangerous to be left alive for this Emperor's plan, and they all sacrifice
Oh.
themselves.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be big.
I don't know if
Yeah.
they're gonna go
That'd be
that
crazy.
dark, but
That's
you know,
dark.
Yeah, that'd be real dark, but
That'd be real dark.
yeah,
Um,
that's super cool.
Yeah. I think we get all of the clones back. I think Crosshair is the first to go.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm torn between Wrecker and Hunter because it's hard to say which one Omega is closer to,
Mhm.
right? Because
That's what I
Hunter's
meant.
like the dad, and then Wrecker is like her best bud.
Sorry.
Yeah, I see towards the end, I see them dying off like one at a time, slowly, and then there's no hope left, and then maybe Quinlan and Asajj show up and they take her away. Whatever happens there. But I honestly, I think I agree with you guys. I don't see any of the Clone Force making it. Now, Rex and Wolf's going to be in this, and we know that they survived through the Rebels. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Echo, but
Yeah, because
who
the other one I
knows?
kind of left in the back of my mind. Kind of forgot about him, but yeah, I'd be interested to see what's going to go on with him.
Yeah, I mean, there is so much. I don't
Yeah.
feel like we're getting any filler episodes. I feel like they're going to wrap some things up, and
Yeah.
it's going to be.
I don't think you can get any filler in this 15 episode of the story where it's left off. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of room for that.
Okay, so last thoughts, Eric. What do you think?
I'm just excited. At the beginning, Jimmy, you asked about what I'm most disappointed about. I think my biggest disappointment is it's only going to be 3 seasons because it's one of my favorite series that they've done. But I'm just super excited to see how they're going to wrap it up, and knowing Filoni, had some say in it, maybe not control the whole thing, but is probably advising the other producers and writers and stuff. I'm really excited to see how he's going to wrap up some of the characters that he's done such a good job developing.
Yeah. Jake, what about you?
Yeah, piggybacking off that, it's I'm super excited, especially in this new era of Star Wars that we're having with Filoni kind of mostly in charge or overseeing all everything, and having this clear tying picture into this Mandoverse type of what we're all leading to, and making everything tie together. We're not leaving a lot of, or at least I think they're doing their best not to leave a lot of loopholes and ending, stories left untold, and if so, they film later, or they coming back around and close those doors too, which
Right.
I do wish it was more seasons, but if this is
Yeah.
the end of the story, it's going to lead to the next great story. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I feel like this is going to set up the prequels. It's going to answer some questions. It may leave a few questions unanswered, but I think that Filoni is going to use the Mandoverse to really clean that all up. I am just like you guys. I'm kind of bummed. Again, I was really surprised by my reaction to season 2, considering I was like, well, whatever was season 1 really didn't really pull me in. But now I'm going to try to binge them all before season 3
You're right.
starts. I think. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be epic. I don't remember being this excited. I mean, I was excited for season 7 of the Clone Wars, but I mean that was a little different. But I'm pretty excited for this, and I feel like we're in for quite a ride with season 3, the final season of the Bad Batch. So. But again, fellas, I want to say thank you again for joining us. People don't know, like I just start hitting people up, and it's tough, with Jack and a lot of our listeners being over in the UK. I mean, it's 8 hours later, 6 hours later over there, so they're all asleep. And so I just want to appreciate, like last minute joining us and doing this, coming on the show. And if you want to tell everybody where they can find you or how they can contact, social media wise or whatever.
Yeah, so I try to keep up with the Explore the Force Facebook group and even follow you on TikTok and try to participate in conversations there. So if y'all aren't there yet, you should go there. It's been pretty exciting this year with all the new stuff they got coming out. So,
all right,
yeah, and I'm on the Facebook group a lot, and I do have an Instagram at Rogue Rebel Bricks. That's my kind of Star Wars Lego page. I'm trying to get off the ground. So, but yeah,
very cool. All right. Well, fellas, thank you again. And for this wraps up the High Council, and for all three of us, we have spoken.